Well, they timed that right, didn't they? Anyway, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Team Unique versus a Puck Champ in the Dota 2 Champions League. And this is a good classic bit of CIS region Dotes. We'll see what these two teams are going to be able to bring to the table, because sometimes different regions have like different sort of takes on the current meta. We've seen a large portion of what like the EU side has to offer, so we'll see what these two guys have got. Team Unique have been prioritising a fair bit of Tidehunter and Rubik recently, and it's been working out pretty nicely for them. The Puck Champ not actually deciding to ban either of those. Taking away the Cottle. Obviously, Cottle it's always a pretty damn important ban. You just got to remove that guy. But instead, Puck Champ do just immediately pick up the Pangolier instead. Is this going to be like the position 5 Pango, which we've been seeing a lot of other teams have been bringing out? I mean, it did seem pretty damn strong. Just all he needs is to get his level 6, and he's just super effective in the team fights, just being a real pain in the ass. So it'll always do feel comfortable seeing that in the support role. I mean, okay, especially now there is a Bloodseeker immediately picked up. So that's just going to be the main counter to this Pangolier. So it's going to 100% be a support Pango. You can't afford to put this guy as a core role because you just get absolutely dumpstered way too hard. So I mean, now if you have your Pangolier as a 5 who uses Rolling Thunder but then gets ruptured, I think you're kind of okay with that, because then it's quite an important ultimate to be used on a support. Normally, if you want to counter like a Pangolier as in a support role, you go for like a Bane or a Winter Wyvern. You know, those sort of ults that pierce its Rolling Thunder and just completely hold them in place. I mean, they'd already committed to just counter it out now, so it's pretty much forced to be in the 5 role. They do also decide to go in for the Phoenix grab. So I think it's always a valid Phoenix. You know, I don't think there's really too many ways that they can change this hero to not make her relevant anymore. It's always going to be a hero that can just pop up in any game. I mean, it's not a hero that Puck Champ have actually picked up yet. Team Unique, sorry. Oh wait, no, they have. I was reading the wrong side then. Yeah, okay, so this is the 3rd time they're going to pick up this this Phoenix. Have they actually gone for the Bloodseeker before? Yeah, they've also grabbed the Bloodseeker before. So they are sticking to what they know so far and what they know has worked. Not going to branch out too badly. We've got Puck Champ giving it a bit of consideration now what they want to go for their 2nd hero after seeing the Bloodseeker Phoenix pick. Now there is the chance that this Bloodseeker could be the position 1, or it could go into the off lane, so I guess they want to pick the heroes accordingly. And they're actually going to snap up the Invoker already. It's a very, very early pick. But I suppose they just want to make sure they get it before it gets banned out there. And now they also have 3 bans that they can target towards the opposing mid laner to give him just a little bit of a better lane. But I mean, if you're then going to focus these 3 bans towards limiting the opposing mid laner, then Team Unique could very well move the Bloodseeker to the off lane and then manage to cherry pick a really decent position 1 for themselves in that case. That's possible. It could be what they were thinking. The Puck Champ haven't even abandoned anyone out yet. So TA gets taken out. I imagine we'll probably see Storm Spirit get removed. Possibly Void as well. Yeah, Void Spirit's been picked up a few times this patch from Team Unique. They've won every single game of it so far. So yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised to see that taken out the pool. They've not gone for a Storm Spirit yet, but I mean, Storm, yeah, he's still pretty damn strong. So I think those would probably be the 2 that I would take out. I mean, the Storm threatens the Invoker after the lane phase is over, but in the actual lane phase, the Invoker does win it. So it's sort of one of those situations where do you want the Invoker just to have like a really nice laning phase, or do you want to give him a little bit of security towards the later parts in the game? There's a lot of options there you could actually decide to ban out. And what has the heroes been picked up for other heroes for Team Unique in the mid? I mean, Alina, but that's already been banned out. They take out the Silencer, which is quite an interesting ban. If they're banning the Silencer, then yeah, maybe they are thinking about going for a Storm Spirit then, because he's one of the heroes which is just massively screwed over by that. They also take out the Medusa. You know, the Lifestealer is the ban from Puck Champ. So they're not just going to completely focus towards the opposing mid. They are going to actually splash it around a little bit. And by taking out the lifesteal, you're sort of thinking that this is going to be a off-lane Bloodseeker then, rather than position 1. Which I think I'd probably prefer as well, because then your ultimate from the Bloodseeker is going to be used on the Pangolier, which is probably going to be the 5. So in which case, you don't want your position 1's ultimate to be wasted on a position 5. It just feels a little bit better if you can use your 3 for that instead. It just makes it... It's not like going to be a huge core pivotal point in the game, but it's just a very slight little advantage. I wouldn't even say advantage. Just, it's something. It's something. They also take out the Faceless Void and the Luna removed there from Team Unique. So it was also a lot of focus towards the ones. And we'll see what Unique's going to go with for their third pick. Probably be their position 5 now, I would imagine. They're actually going to go for the Rubik. Okay, so that is actually a hero that, like I said, Team Unique have been picking up a fair bit in this patch. They've got 100% win rate of it so far out of 3 games. It's not like a huge game pool to really say that's amazing, 100% win rate, but it's something. Not quite sure what role they put it in, because they've already got the Phoenix. Normally, both of these heroes tend to be in the 4 role. I think when it comes to the lanes, I prefer the Phoenix to be a 5 than the Rubik on the 4, in my opinion. And immediately, the IO Gyro combination picked up there from PuckChamp. Didn't give that much consideration, and snapped up the Morphling as well from Unique. So I guess with the Morphling pick there, you're going to be turning into the Gyro, get those flat cannons, and just completely decimate the opposing squad. So that will be quite nasty to play up against eventually there for PuckChamp. Something that they're going to have to look out for. So both teams, well, I say PuckChamp after their position 3, and Unique just looking for their mid lane now. And what is going to be focused here from PuckChamp? Going to remove the heroes, which is going to be pain later on, or to secure the laning phase and make sure the Invoker gets the best start as he possibly can. What is sort of like the main cores that have just been wrecking mid lane lately? There's been a few. They're quite even spread around, actually. They might decide to... Banning out the Bat Rider could be pretty decent here, I feel like. I mean, Team Unique don't actually have like a core frontline. And mind you, neither squad do. There's no like big tanky strength hero just dumping the front lines. Let's see what they're going to remove. Storm Spirit was taken out from PuckChamp, and actually the Techies gets banned there from Unique. So I guess there is a player on the side of PuckChamp that does like to pick up this hero every now and then. They've not grabbed it so far this patch, but you just never know. You never want to be caught out by a surprise Techie pick. You can really just screw your game over real hard. Sort of similar to a Meepo in that regard. I think I prefer to see Meepo. Actually ban out the Lion as well. So the Unique are thinking this is an off-lane Pangolier then, rather than support. I mean, normally when the support Pangolier, it'd be the 5, but they've already got the IO, which would be the 5, so maybe they are going to put it as a core. No, I really think it should be a support. Because of this Bloodseeker pick, you can't really afford one of your cores to get screwed over that badly. I think it should be in the 4 role. And that would even work better to their favour as well, seeing as how Team Unique had just wasted 2 of their final bans towards another support. Could be the choice. We'll see what they are going to go with. I think they should just pick up a different offlaner. Maybe someone else that gives them a bit of extra team fight. Mars could be pretty good here, I feel like. No, they're actually going to go for the Shamans. Then it is going to be a core Pangolier then. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It just seems like, yeah, he's just going to get screwed by this Bloodseeker really hard. I don't know. Maybe they are just going to put him in that sacrificial role, like, who cares? As long as if the Gyro's not getting targeted, your life is meaningless. Just take some attention away from him. That's all you're there for. But now, still pretty much the full set of reserve time left for Team Unique to work with. To really cherry pick the hero they want to play up against this Voker in the mid lane. I mean, normally, yeah, Lina is the best pick, but that got banned out at the very start of the game. They've actually, Unique have run the Queen of Pain a few times before in this current patch. with varying results. They've got 50% win rate at the moment, but it's a hero which can actually lane up against the Invoker relatively well. I mean, if she gets caught by like a Cold Snap Tornado into EMP, she can just get bullied out quite hard by Crosswax Invoker. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, maybe PuckChamp actually, with this Invoker, they want to focus on to Exhort, because then you've got the missile set up into Sunstrike. It's such an easy and effective way to just guarantee those hits. Especially as well the fact they've also got the Shadow Shaman, which, as we all know, will just have the Shackles to, again, be a better setup for the Sunstrike. So in which case, then, they've got a decent lengthy disable in both lanes that the Invoker could actually abuse. So maybe then it would actually be safer going for the Queen of Pain then, because you're not going to be bullied out too hard by a Crosswex Invoker. It'll probably be Exhort Wex, I guess. Yeah, I think Queen's a pretty decent shout. In Queen or the Bat Rider? I think either one of those could work. We've got 18 seconds now. What is going to be the choice? What are they going to go with? Okay, actually go for the puck. Huh? I completely forgot about the puck, actually. That is, yeah, that's again a pretty decent item. Also gives their team a little bit of extra fight when they get to those 5-on-5 situations. It's the Dream Coil. Actually denies the escape for a lot of the PuckChamp members, so they will get hit by the Phoenix Ult. Let's see how it ends up going. No problem, Kapu. Hopefully you enjoy it, buddy. Yeah, I mean, there's not like an overwhelming amount of team fight from the side of PuckChamp there. They got the cooldown, and then they could possibly go for Cataclysm. No, they wouldn't go for Cataclysm. It's kind of pointless. There's no big team fight lockdown coming up from their side, so kind of be a waste of gold in my opinion. But at least they haven't got any like super crazy abilities for the Rubik to steal. I mean, Rolling Thunder would be a nice one to grab if he can get it. Snakes would be decent as well. But yeah, there's no like Ravages or Black Holes or anything like that. So it's gonna be an okay Rubik game. Not super great. Spoiler alert. I don't want no spoilers. Get out of here. There's a pause incoming. Oh god. How long is the pause? Don't tell me. Well, the pause is 2.5 minutes long, or it's 2.5 minutes into the game, the pause? I don't like lengthy pauses, man. Seems rough. Mainstream is 7 minutes in. Fair. Hey, you're getting all these spoilers yourself, High Skura, man. You're gonna feel the enjoyment of getting it all firsthand in my professional English cast. You're spoiling it for yourself. It's like peeking at your Christmas presents. It's not good. But yeah, I think when it comes down to those big fights, I am going to favour Team Unique in this case. Just, yeah, it feels like they got a bit more security in it. And the fact that the Morphlin's pretty decent matching to go up against a Gyro to get the flat cannon yourself, which is then just going to be pumping out even more damage whilst everyone's stuck in the Phoenix Egg and Dream Coil combo. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, game number 1 between Team Unique and PuckChamp. We'll see who's going to be able to come out on top in this series. It doesn't look like there's going to be any sort of crazy play coming out from Team Unique, but meanwhile PuckChamp have actually smoked up with the 4th and headed down mid. We'll see if it's just to get an early ward or not. And they just immediately pop their smoke, just run straight into FN sat on the high ground. So they're not going to be able to get any deep wards. There's the power of the puck though. You just chuck out a couple of illusory orbs, get out to the lane super quick, and even with the movement speed bonus of the smoke, it's not going to matter. They'll always beat you there. But I think that was literally their only plan. They wanted to get that aggressive ward and they fall back. I've not seen a level 1 fight for the bounties in so long. Nobody really gives it that much attention anymore. And it makes sense because the first bounty is, what, 40 gold per person? So it only ends up being 200 gold spread across the whole team. It's like, it's not even half a tango. It's half a stack of tangos. It's not like the biggest thing in the world. But I suppose actually every bounty you take, technically it swings the net worth difference by 400, not 200, because you're taking it away from the other side as well, which can be big. But I mean, this Astral's even just happily sat in the river all on his own. Because every single member of Team Unique was at the top. So it does just end up being an easy 2 for 2. Pretty simple there. We'll see how this Puck versus Invoker matchup goes. I think it's pretty even between the both of them. Like, I can't see either one just, like, really excelling in this lane and just completely dumpstering the other one. It should be pretty neck and neck for a majority of it. Youngji actually getting a really good block out on the creeps. So they're sat quite nicely on top of his high ground, but actually ends up dragging into the wave. So we'll just lose the balance of the creeps in a second. So we're going to start pushing towards FN. Is he going to be able to get the range creep? Yes, he does. FN only mentions to no onto one of the release. I don't think FN actually got any of those last hits, so that feels kind of rough. Bit unfortunate there for him. But his early levels. Normally when he hits that like level 3, you got 2 points into the illusory orb. Or the Wayne Rift. They probably will put 2 points into the orb. Maybe you go for the silence next. So on the side lanes, it's all going to be relatively placid, I imagine, for a large portion of it. Like a Bloodseeker Rubik combo can be quite nasty once they hit that level 3 mark as well. 2 points into the Blood Right, and then the Puck can always just telekinesis chuck someone back into the middle of it. I mean, Ducalis will have a bit of safety because he can always just tether over to the gyro. But if the Rubik is really on it, he can just grab him mid-flight and just pull him into the danger zone. He's taking a ton of damage down bot as well. Yeah, I really think this should have been a support Pango. I've said it once, I've said it a million times. I think it would have been better. But it's all pretty even so far. No clear winner in the lanes as of yet, as you would expect. Still exactly the same CS in the mid, 10 and 1 to both these two. FN just got his bottle delivered. It's always nice getting the bottle delivered before you grab at the water rune. Just gives you Dex 2 charges. Oh, yeah, I'm missing that. But first blood actually gets found up top there from Bignum, but gets immediately responded there from Crit. I mean, obviously he does get the first blood's bonus gold, which is pretty tasty. But at the same time, he just gave away solo kill gold and experience to the gyrocopter. So really, I think PuckChamp are actually happy with that trade. I don't think they mind. Maybe if Petishara got the kill rather than Bignum, then maybe Team Unique would have been slightly ahead in that regard. But yeah, I think PuckChamp are happy with that little exchange. And I guess this is the ridiculously long pause that you were telling me about High Sakura. It better not be as long as you were saying, otherwise I'll be very depressed. Well, they're already back, and they're saying go. Go? Yeah, well, that wasn't that long of a pause. No, you made me panic about nothing. That's not nice. Very rude. So far, actually, Crit is definitely suffering in CS. It was all kind of like even about a minute ago, but his CS has not really moved at all. Still only 7 and 3, which is really quite surprising because I wouldn't have thought he'd been pressured out in this lane too badly. I guess he's just, I don't know, not quite been practicing his last hits of today, but we have been watching him. He gets every single one of them. We'll see Wonder Knight does finally come in there from Petishara. In the mid, FN, hit by Tornado and the EMP. Yeah, we'll dodge it. Always going to be the nice thing about playing a Puck up against an Invoker. Landing those Quaswex combos is always going to be difficult. Meanwhile, lift back into the Blood Right. It does land on Tsukasa to take a lot of damage, and the speed buff there onto Petishara. Not quite high enough level yet to just decide to dive under a tier 1. Would have been very risky indeed. David still, it's a good amount of harassment, and it doesn't really cost too much of them. It does actually end up trading a salve on both sides, but with that sort of trade, it's always going to favour the IO pairing, because one salve heals both of them, when obviously Petishara gets the effect of a salve his, but not the Bignum needed it. This is one of those small things which can end up tipping the balance. Even is going to try and harass up Petishara as much as they can, but it's not going to be able to do too much. And it is actually a 0 exhort build coming out from this Invoker, which I am, to be honest, I'm really surprised about. Oh, I still use the Tornado as well as the EMP. FN just able to get, well, actually, he does get the rune, but he still got hit by the EMP. So he's not going to get that much out of this water rune usage. But yeah, like, as I was saying, I really think the Exhort would have been fantastic this game. Like I was saying, you've got the Shackle set up down bot, and you also have the homing missile set up the top lane to really land those Sunstrikes. But I guess he just wanted the Quad Spikes to try and deal with the puck a little bit better in the laning phase. But even still, when you go the Exhort build, you have the Forge Spirits, which helps you CS in the lane, and that can actually end up tipping the balance into your favour. As it is still pretty even between these two. Just Young G pulling ahead in terms of denies, with an extra 5 over the top of the puck. Doesn't transmute too much. Slayer actually able to take away a cheeky bounty rune. I imagine they're probably going to try and give some farm priority for the Shadow Charm in this game for Astral. Because if you get the Blink onto him, he can set up for like an easy Blink Hex onto the Morphlin before he can get that Strength Morph off. And those are just pretty easy kills in that setup. I mean, especially if you do also have the Sunstrike. But doesn't have that this game. It makes it a little bit more difficult. It's going to be dangerous for the Morph. Actually, he's already reading this, and he's immediately going for the Lincoln Sphere first item on the Morphlin. I mean, it's definitely going to give him a fair bit of security, so it'll probably keep him alive in a couple of engagements, but the fact that he's not going to have any sort of, like, Yasha online into the Manta or anything like that, it's going to reduce his early damage output, which will then, in turn, reduce his farming speed. So his GPM will suffer a fair bit because of this build, but it might just balance out with the fact that he'll probably avoid death once, maybe twice because of it. But even so, he's got a completely free lane down here at the bot. There's nothing really that a solo Pangolier can do to stop his farm. So he's just going to be happily farming away. And Crit has actually managed to recover a fair amount. 13-11 right now. He was bottom of all the cores, but he has sort of climbed his way back up. And only about 100 gold behind the Morphlin as well. Already 300 gold advantage for Young G in this mid over the top of FN. I wonder if he's going to go for the standard Hand of Midas build on this Invoker. Or maybe he might try and bring something else to the table. I mean, he's already got his Urn of Shadows online, so he wants to get active and he wants to try and get these charges online. But normally, yeah, when you've got this Urn of Shadows, you want to make a rotation and get these charges up. You don't want it to sit on 0 for too long, because otherwise then it just sort of ends up being dead gold, and it's never a nice position to be in. I mean, even still, it was sort of an essential item this game. When you're playing up against the Morphlin, you want to have that HP reduction with the Spirit Vessel. And talk about his first move, he is going to head up towards top here. Tornado, leaning it all up into the homing missile. Perfect combination, no mana left. And Petishara ends up just being free fruit there for Crit. Now 2-0-0 on himself. Hits his level 6 and going straight in for the Maelstrom. So first nice move there, but Young G, he's actually going to walk into a trap here. 3 members of Unique perfectly on top of him. Lean it up with the Dream Call, even get the silence. Is there going to be anything that he could do to turn this around? He's not dead yet. He gets the Ghost Sword, but there is going to be a dust that cancels it out. Young G trying to run away. That ain't going to work. He ends up dying. So nice play there from Unique. With this high ground ward, seeing him running behind the Roshan pit, allowed him to set up that gank super easy. But nicely played. Melee is actually going for first time with a Hooded Defiance here. Not even brown boots or anything. I mean, it definitely makes sense that all of the damage output from Team Unique at this stage in the game is just going to be pure magical. Like all the puck, the Rubik, the Phoenix, the Adaptive Strike and the Waveform, as well as... Well, actually, it's not going to make any difference from the Bloodseeker. All of his spells are pure, which is redonkulous, by the way. Pure damage is always broken. So, gives him a nice bit of safety as well, but at the same time, it's not going to give him that much effectiveness in these fights. Because, I mean, still, even with this Hood of Defiance, he uses Rolling Thunder, he gets hit by the Rupture, and he's just going to die. Like, it does absolutely nothing. Now, Crit is managing to farm up these stacks. There's also a little bit of interruption being put in here from Slayer. I'm not sure if you actually managed to steal any of the last hits or not, but even still, it was a fair bit of disruption. So we actually missed an opportunity to get a stack there. Which is a little unfortunate. Well, they will get that one at least. You know, more stacks being made on the Ancients as well. And on the small camp. I mean, these are both triples now. Is that quad? Yeah, it's a quad. quad stack on that. I think it's just a triple on the Ancients, though. I'm pretty sure Crit is going to make his move over here in a minute. Probably get a couple more points into Flat Cannon, I suppose. Actually ramps up the speed. He's able to farm it effectively. We'll say just taking a couple of creeps where he can. Astral as well as Young G smoked up. Gonna look up with Crit and Ducalis up here to try and set up for a kill. Gonna aim for Petishara yet again. There is FN and Slayer in the vicinity, though, to try and help out. If they all make a mad dash for him, they're going to lead things up. The Dream Call there just gets connection onto the IO. FN's going to focus onto Ducalis, who actually ends up bursting him down there. They do get the kill, but also the Tornado actually cancels FN's Jaws, who can't get away, but doesn't matter. With the Phoenix Egg, it's distracted him enough. It's still going to pop. No, it's not. He ends up dying. They still got the kill onto Crit. Astral will fall as well. So it ends up being a 3-for-2 trade, but actually it's not done yet. Mealy's is TP'd in there. Going to focus onto FN if he can. There's going to be the immediate jaunt. Cancel it out with the Illusory Orb. He's going to be able to disengage. Melee's still trying forwards. There is going to be the held back there with the cold snap, and they do find the return kill. Melee's going to hit onto Bigland, but I don't think he's going to be able to find that kill at all. He will just be able to fall back. So a pretty big sort of skirmish there from either squad. Ends up being a 3-for-3 trade. But I think, yeah, I mean, the gold and experience advantage does go into the favor of PuckChamp there. Because I suppose they did get 2 core kills and a support. Meanwhile, they lost 2 supports and 1 core. But their core was actually their carry. So that is going to upset the balance between the farm priority of the Morphling and the Gyro a little bit. I mean, it's still actually pretty much equal gold. Doesn't make that much difference at the moment. Eva's going to drop the snakes with the catapult wave. 100% a dead tower at the bot. Looks like Unique are going to try and pressure out the mid tower if they can with their own catapult. Youngji still actually not that close to having his Midas finished up yet. Still another 300 gold away. Fortunately, can't even get the kill onto the catapult. Sometimes it's really awkward last hit in those. He's going to TP up to the top to try and defend their own tier 1 up here. EMP leading the charge. With the cold snap is holding Petishara back as well as the roll up here. He's going to come straight in for it. The relocate train to the middle. They're taking a lot of damage. As well as the Blood Right just finished off Ducalis. Crit is super low, just held in there with the Dream Call. There's going to be enough burst damage. They finish him off. We've got Meles just rolling around doing so much destruction. FN falls as well. It's still another 2-for-2 trade. But Bignum is going to upset that. Ends up being a 3-for-2. So again, it's more cause for PuckChamp in the trade. So they are still definitely getting an advantage in these engagements for sure, but it's still just the Morphling being left out of this. But at least actually the Gyro's gold is still getting bumped up by it. So still about 150 gold in the lead over the top of the Morph, who is still going for this Lincoln's, and he's going to get it online in about 500 gold. I mean, I can definitely see why he's going for this. It's... yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to end up panning out due to affecting his farming speed. Especially when you consider the fact that a Gyro just naturally farms faster than a Morphling anyway. Especially with the ancient stacks that were made for him. Especially with the fact he's already got his Maelstrom online, so his farming speed now is going to skyrocket even further. And then after this whole ancient stack is done, it'll probably be a good 700-800 gold over the top of the Morph. And the Shadow's just finished up there for Slayer. Doesn't have... I mean, actually, I was going to say it doesn't have as big of an impact as it does for PuckChamp, but no. Once he gets that Spirit Vessel, it's a perfect target for the IO. So disregard me, boys. Disregard. I know nothing. Meanwhile, Rod of Atos finished up there for Petishara. A classic sort of item for an off-lane Bloodseeker. Not something you see too often. Even just going to try and go for the solo play here onto Melez. He's going to go for the TP out, and he actually ends up hiding him. No, he just gets the vision there through the trees, gets the hit onto the Rod of Atos. Melez trying to get himself out of this, and the Ulva has now just worn off, so he's actually going to try and turn around. We'll just roll straight through. Need the beep beep voice line. That would have worked out really nicely. So they just end up trading ults. The Unique, after to get the finish, wrapping up to the top. And Melez is actually still in the area. Very low HP. I think they just got the spot because it is daytime. Is he going to be able to actually get out there? They're going to dive the tier 2? Or if he hugs it? If he tries going for a mad dash back to the base, he will just get cut off. But fortunate enough for him, he does hide in there. So with that Observer Ward, I think it got the spot onto one of the supports. So they realised there are a few members there, even though the puck was still remained hidden. But he shows up into the lane, gets hit by the Dream Call immediately. He will just snap it, 'cause it's pretty short duration this early on, but even still, the Blood Right, the Rod of Atos, there's enough control. They will get the kill. Either Relocate coming in here. They want to try and get something +1. FN is going to avoid the rocket damage altogether. The Sunstrike will get the connection. It's not too much damage. He's still going to be alive for now, but the rocket does get the finish. The phase shift, too low cooldown. The Big Lam even ends up dropping as well. The relocate ends. It just completely abandons Young Chi, but the Invid's just able to stop the Rod of Atos from getting the connection. And they will just accept that little trade in their favour and disengage. Once again, another kill onto the puck. And more kill involvements for the Gyro as well. Just further skyrocketing his lead. Look at it. He's now 1,400 gold over the top of the Morphine. They were like neck and neck just a few minutes ago. There's the big use of the Lincoln Sphere. It stopped the Hex. There was no follow-up, but it doesn't matter. Well, hang about. He's got the Lincoln Sphere, right, to give him protection against these instant disables. Yet he's still sat on 50-50. Like, surely with this build, yeah, okay, he changes down now. I was going to say, surely with this build, it gives you the advantage of being able to sit in your agi for, like, a little bit more greedy. Yeah, it's interesting.
Scanning for enemies.
Yeah. Well, glad I can help there, Nico. Looks like actually Unique come in. All their heroes this mid. They really want to try and pressure this tower if they can. Space is keeping the catapult alive for now. We'll see if PuckChamp want to commit any more heroes to actually defend this. It doesn't look like they're going to bother. Looks like he will just end up falling down. I actually sort of sat off to the side. Young G even gets lucky with the rune. It's an arcane. So they could actually end up taking this fight. Actually, even the Dreamcore gets committed there onto the Pangolin. He's behind the tree, so they don't get division. And in comes the Evoker from the side. He gets the EMP hit there onto the Bloodseeker, but the egg just forces everyone inside of PuckChamp to disengage. They're not going to get quelled from this. The tower might end up falling down. So they do take their objective. It costs them the egg in return, as well as the Dream Coil, actually. So this could possibly be the opportunity here for PuckChamp to go for an aggressive move themselves. All the big ultimates on Unique are on cooldown. They do just all walk underneath a ward though, so Unique realised that this aggressive move into the jungle was coming. I think they even just pinged out the fact that they placed a ward on the high ground. So they'll eventually get taken away as well. And so PuckChamp, not even needing creeps, just going straight in for the tier 1. I mean, with the heals from the Gyro, it's going to give a lot of protection there to the Gyro, so he's going to feel safe to do it. Especially with the Alacrity on top as well. Should make relatively quick work of this tower. Is Unique actually going to try and put up any sort of defense? Doesn't look like they're going to bother. Nothing they can do. Like I said, without any of their big spells, big ultimates, all they could do is just watch as the tower falls. Astro even going to drop the snake to the bot. There is the glyph back online though, because obviously the tier 1 tower just died. So it's the opportunity for Unique to try and defend this. The glyph will kill off the creep wave. Doesn't really want to tank up for it though. The ward does get denied. The Slayer tried to get the grab onto it. We'll just get a successful dive. He actually gets stuck in the trees between the creeps. If PuckChamp actually kept chasing there, they could have found that kill. The creeps just completely boxed him in. That would have been a very cheeky kill. Still, PuckChamp just moving around this little grouped up unit. Just constantly giving security to the Gyro just in case he gets jumped by any members of Unique. Still space. He got his Lincoln Sphere online and then he immediately went in for the bots. I mean, okay, yeah, it gives him a lot of maneuverability, a bit of a global presence as well. But again, he has absolutely no aggressive items at 18 minutes into the game. He's just purely defensively built up at the moment. I mean, he is going for the E-Blade next, but it's going to be a fair bit of time before this item actually comes online. And then by that point, its effectiveness would have dropped off. Because normally when you get an E-Blade pretty quickly into the game, you could just decimate the supports on the opposing side, like with ease. There's actually no survivability technique in that early part of the game. The idea is it to have split push. They have a single stun. Yeah, it makes sense, but then... But with their rest of the lineup, they've got superior team fight, so it would sort of suggest they would want to go for like a more of aggressive style of playing and try and take the fights when they have all these ultimates to use. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's strange. Hey, you never know, it might end up panning out for him. But even still, just the damage output that the gyro is able to pump out over the top of this Morphin is just absolutely massive. Especially since he has his own BKB, which is just a much more superior defensive item. Oh, they're even going to find the grabber there onto Bingham just as they place this wall behind the tower. Oh, actually, he's not even killed him yet. He's managed to survive a fair amount of time. It's going to allow the rest of the squad to come in there to try and help out Millies. He does have the Rupture on him. But the cooldown and everything else gives him a bit of protection so they can fall back. So not even going to be able to find the trade. Meanwhile, the second stake usage gets the kill onto the tier 2.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They end up taking the outpost as well. So PuckChamp definitely just have the momentum in this game. They are just sort of setting the pace with their own moves. Meanwhile, Team Unique is sort of stuck in this reactionary playstyle. I mean, I'm sure as soon as this E-Blade is actually completed here for space, that will change, and they're going to look to actually start taking some engagements and fights where they can. But, like I said, it's still going to be a bit more time before that's available. But at least all their ultimates are back up now. It's just the Rupture they're missing for another 15 seconds. So if another fight gets put onto their table from PuckChamp, they could try and actually take it. But just the farm and speed of this gyros are so incredible. Nearly actually got enough to finish his ags up already. Only about 800 gold away. And then that'll probably be the time that PuckChamp want to look for a fight. Or at least just get a pick off and then move into the Roshan pit if they can. That will probably be their next main objective. There's nothing else they really have to go for. They've already taken down to tier 2. So they can keep the outpost control up. Keep the XP balance flowing into their favour. Blink's actually nearly online here for Bignum. Only a couple of 100 gold away. Now Sanchkaya still coming up here from FN. Only about 1,000 gold away from that. Also with the Witchblade and the Blink. So he's got pretty much his core puck items online. But he is a couple of 1,000 gold behind the Invoker. But I mean, that is to be expected. It is a Midas Invoker. Always going to be difficult to try and keep pace with the farm and speed of that. Now also having his own BKB finished up here. So it just seems like PuckChamp, they're ready for a fight. They're ready to take it. They've got some nice counters to what Team Unique will be able to bring to the table in these fights. And they actually go for a 3-man smoke here. I'm going to be on the hunt. Obviously, the IO Gyro can just join them at any point with the relocates. They haven't got to worry about waiting for them to catch up. Even the Ag's just been finished up here. FN. He really wants to get starved. Hits by the cold snap. Hit by the Hex. He will just get controlled up. There is going to be the silence coming in, but it doesn't matter. He just gets overwhelmed with the amount of damage. And yeah, they find the kill into the puck, and immediately, with that player advantage now, Crypt just moves straight into the pit. And he's taking it down pretty damn quickly, just on his own. Already down to about 2/3 HP. I don't think there's anything that Team Unique can really do, especially with the snakes he gets committed here from the Shadow Shaman. Yeah, there's nothing they can do to stop this. So now they're going to have to contend with a Aegis Gyro as well as having BKB Ags. This man is just an absolute powerhouse to deal with. As well as also with the healing backup factor that an Iroh brings to the table. This is going to be ridiculous. But Unique are going to have to be super, super careful of how they take their next few engagements. Otherwise, I think they just get overpowered too easily. So maybe they might actually try and take down this tier 1 at the top. Remove all the final tier 1s off the map. For the side of Unique anyway. Obviously, PuckChamp's still got their one sat at the bot. Just about. Pretty damn close to death itself. What does the amulet on Wisp do? What amulet's that? Oh, I think it was the Dust of Appearance. Oh, we got the Glimmer. I didn't even see that. I'm blind. Yeah, I mean, again, it's pretty effective. Just all the damage output from Team Unique at this stage of the game is magical. So it's the perfect item to pick up. Gives this team a huge amount of survivability. As well as then also the fact that the supports on the side of Team Unique can have to be on it carrying the dust, which they all do. Both the Phoenix and the Rubik have got them available. But I mean, just like that, Team Unique was a couple of heroes positioned up here to defend this tower, but just at the presence of the Gyro Iroh alone, they immediately ran off. Oh, he didn't actually have it queued.
Radiant's top tower
Very strange.
has fallen.
They're just picking out the tier 2. But it's like, why do we need to go back? We have every advantage. We are ready to take a fight. Team Unique are not. They just got the Fader Discord up there for the Bloodseeker. And the E-Blade is actually online. Yeah. Yeah, with that Glimmer, the E-Blade's not going to do much, is it? It's going to give him a lot of protection. So I guess now the best target for space, I guess, would be the Shaman. But you really just need to get rid of the IO. He's one of the key members on the side of PuckChamp, bringing to the effectiveness of the teamfight of PuckChamp. So you've got to deal with him somehow. They're going for this 4-man smoke play, but I mean, meanwhile, all of PuckChamp are at the top. The Glyph actually ends up getting used to keep this tier 1 tower alive for a few more seconds. They're going to carry on heading over it, moving into their own triangle now, but every member of PuckChamp's going to just try and disengage the air. Actually, they're still hanging around Astral. He's going to get around on here from space. Meanwhile, actually, the jump force there for Biglam. They've got the telekinesis onto the arrow and immediately gets blown up. Too much damage output there. He dies, but space! He just gets shredded from crit on his own. Also finding the kill to Biglam. It's an absolute disaster. They found IO, but it cost them 3 lives in return. Millie's actually getting the kill to the Phoenix of the bot. That is not worth it at all. And now they're just going to move up to high ground. They have no Glyph to keep this alive. They got no buyback there onto the Morph. At least FN does find the free kill onto Astral, which I guess is actually going to be enough to force them back. Okay, that's not too bad then. I mean, even still, that feels rough. Your Morphling just got rinsed so hard. Looked like he was made of paper. Just could not strength form fast enough. I imagine there's probably going to be an Aeon Disc queued up next for the IO, just to give him extra bit of protection so that doesn't happen again. I feel like that would be a pretty good shout. I'm not sure what else he would rather build this game. Like he just wants to stay alive to just make the IO even stronger, so yeah. He wasn't straightforward? I'm pretty sure he was, wasn't he? I saw like a little red glow around him. He was just dying too quick. There wasn't even the spirit vessel on him. Great. Oops, runs into FN, a couple of hits. Oh, he toggled it off. That's a big whoopsie. Oh, space though, he does actually end up finding a free kill there onto Astral in the jungle on his own. So they put the E-Blade to work. He is getting a couple of kills with it. But Satanic also online for crit. This man is just... He's just so hard to kill. He's so hard to kill. Yeah, like sure, if you try and burst down the IO, you get rid of him, which reduces the effect of the gyro a little bit, but just look what items he's got. He doesn't even rely on the IO to survive in these fights at all. BKB, Satanic, as well as damage output from the Maelstrom and Ags. 5,000 gold over the top of the Morphling, who's trying to build into his own BKB. It'll definitely help out, but he's still about 1,500 gold away before he can actually rely on the save.
Is under attack.
At least the Aegis is actually now timed out. So, Unique might not feel too bad about trying to take some sort of engagement, but actually they just found space. There's going to be the Rolling Thunder. The Lincoln Sphere gets immediately popped. There's no Blink Dagger available on the Shadow Shaman yet, so they can't just jump forward and get the grab, and it does this allow them to disengage. And another pause come out. More connection issues. And there was actually quite a big rotation. Everyone on the side of PuckChamp came up here for that. Even Ducalis used his relocate for it. So the fact that he was able to disengage from that space, it's not too bad. I'm not sure what it was that even popped his Lincoln Sphere. Was it? I think it might have been Spirit Vessel from Young G. Oh no, I think it was actually the Ether Shock that popped it. Yeah, I mean, I definitely know why he went for the Ether Lens. It's always really strong as on a Shadow Shaman, giving that super long shackle range. I think maybe he probably should have prioritized the Blink, though, to try and get the catch on Morphin. Or maybe he would have done that, but he saw the Lincoln Sphere, so you'd have to get like a double cast, and it gives extra time for space to react. So yeah, even still. He will get it eventually. Another 500 gold and it'll be up.
The battle seeks resolution.
No, Charlotte.
Bottom tower is under
He's still hanging around at this top, despite the fact that he just basically saw every single member from PuckJamp in the vicinity. Pretty ballsy. At least he's hiding out in the trees. Shiva's Guard online for Slayer. Just increasing the effectiveness of the team fight just a little bit more. Oop, FN actually able to find the kill there onto Astral, the top lane. Does cost him his Dream Coil, but it's a relatively short cooldown for what it is. Only 70.4 seconds with the quickening charm. So you don't feel too bad about just spamming that skill. No matter what kills you actually end up getting, support, whatever. A kill is a kill. It's extra money, it's extra experience. And it just brings the game just that little bit closer into your favour. But they've still got another 8k gold to break down, which is pretty much... Well, I mean, 6,000 gold of that is just the differences between the two position ones. And then the difference between the Invoker as well. Was this actually the supports on the side that of Unique? They're actually going past their counterparts. Actually, even Bignum now got more money than both the supports on the side of PuckChamp. Supports are the ones that are really carrying this game here for Unique. Keeping that gold balance relatively... I was going to say even, but it's not even. Keeping it not terrible. I guess that would be my only way to put it. But I think that PuckChamp, they're just waiting for the next Roshan. Could potentially be up in 55 seconds. Obviously, could also potentially be up in like 4 minutes. Depends on how lucky they get. And the ward here from PuckChamp does actually end up spotting a lot of members of Unique in this mid lane. They saw him gathering up, so they probably realised that some sort of move is about to come out. Well, the smoke from Bignum, I think FNA just wanted to kill the creeper. Now they are going to go for the move. Did that ward just get... I'm not sure if that ward just spotted the smoke there onto Petushara or not. I can't quite tell. But even still, like the move has been read here from PuckChamp, so all 5 heroes are gathered up in the same vicinity as each other. So if a fight does come their way, they're ready to take it. And they're ready to smack down Unique if they can. Even a Cypher Vice online here for Young G. So just even more catch and lockdown for the Morphlin. So Space can have to be real careful about how he positions himself. But actually, mind you, he's just finished up his BKB. I'm kind of surprised that they went for that smoke play before he had his BKB. If he was that close, they probably should have just waited. But even still, not like it really mattered. No fight came about. Roche up in 35 seconds. Is Astral going to sit in this pit for the entirety of that time? Probably not. Like, literally every single time, just as the Roche is about to spawn, they leave the pit. You know what? Another 5-man smoke here from Unique. And it's actually a response smoke as well from the side of PuckChamp, but they're going to run into each other. Crit, smoke gets popped into the entirety of Unique here. He's going to be the first focus with the Glimmer Cape, reduces a lot of the damage. And immediately, FN, he jumps to the back, he gets caught there from the Hex from Astral, as well as the Snakes get dropped. He's probably might end up taking a lot of damage to that. The egg gets dropped here from the Phoenix. Critis is going to focus down with 2 Carlos, but still Space doing a lot of damage onto the IO. He will be able to get the kill. They take him down. Young G also falling for Petishar in the backlines, though. But Space, he will just end up dying to the 1v1, but in the backline, Unique are just doing so much work. 3 members of PuckChamp are dead. It's just Crit and Melee's left alive. And the Roshan has just spawned as well. And I think both teams realise that. But there's not really any way that PuckChamp can do. I mean, they have the damage out between these two. But it might just be a little bit risky. But they're actually going to go for it either way. Unique can't really take this fight. Well, they couldn't take the Roche anyway without the Morphlin, who is all of their, like, sort of melee damage at this point, physical. So it's actually just ended up being a free Roche and free Aegis and Shard going over here to PuckChamp, despite the fact that Unique actually came out on top of that engagement, taking the 3 for 2. And once again, we saw that they managed to get the kill onto the IO, but again, it just costs Space his life, because all of his net worth is sort of focused between just getting the kill onto the IO. He doesn't have anything to really try and combat the Gyro at this point. So now it's another Aegis, Gyro, even took the Shard for himself. I mean, it's kind of weird, this Shard, like the Rocket Barrage. It's definitely interesting. I think it's pretty strong, like, support gyros. I'm not quite sure of its effectiveness on the core, but obviously there was very limited choice about who actually take the Shard in that situation, so it doesn't really matter. As long as if you actually spend the 1,400 gold, it's fine. But I mean, now though, because of that engagement, I mean, sure, Unique came out on top in players, but Just the net worth difference between these two just keeps on growing. 10,000 gold now, separating space and crit. Absolutely disgusting. But he's just got 3 grand sat in his back pocket. What does he want to buy? He might just go in for a Daedalus. It's all like the standard build order for a gyro at this point into the game. Meanwhile, it is actually the Skadi queued up for space next. He's a long way off it though. And he's still about 4,000 gold. So 4 members of PuckChamp. Conversion down to the bot. They want to get the calf onto someone, but there's a lot of observer wards for Unique in this vicinity, so they're going to be able to avoid all of that. Young G, though. He actually does get the spot there onto Slayer. Going to start it off with the Cypher Vice, but Telekinesis there for Bigham, trying to make some space for his Phoenix to get out. And he even gets a blink himself. And he blinks forwards. Perfectly read. Absolutely well played there from Bigham. Brings himself to safety. Did Astro and FN just walk right past each other? He said, well played there from Bigham as well as Slayer to evade death. Astral though. Oh, he's going to have to get the spot onto him. He sees him in the creep wave. Immediately gets a pop there onto the Lincoln Sphere. The jump forward into trees. Blink off to the side. FN will just get himself out of there. So the power of Lincoln Spheres absolutely everywhere.
Fortune's change.
And it seems like PuckChamp now going to try and focus on towards the top lane. They were actually hunting for Petushara in the trees there, but he'd already TP'd out. Just in the nick of time. Oh. Big misclick. Want to recover that 0 HP. Makes sense. Okay. So a little smoke here used from Unique, but they're not going to be able to find anyone at all moving into the dire triangle because the entirety of PuckChamp are now pushing up to high ground. Crit leading the charge. Snakes immediately get dropped as well, which is going to force out the glyph, but the glyph isn't even in range of the creeps. So they're not even going to kill off the wave to reduce the backdoor protection. They're still going to be here to do their work. It's going to be Telekinesis just trying to hold them back, but I'm not sure what they can do to keep this tower alive. I think it will still end up falling down with the assistance of the snakes as well. It will jump. Actually, FN jumping aggressively, just trying to do some damage there onto crit, even as well as the shotgun. The gyro is taking a lot of damage after this, as well as this constant control, but he's going to pop his Satanic, heal himself back up off the creep wave, onto the high ground yet again. We'll just slowly chip it away at these buildings. The range barracks will just fall down here. Unique could just wait and see if they can find anyone on the side of PuckChamp that steps online. They're actually going to wrap around to the side. They get the initiation on Young Jimmy. The BKB! It stops the damage from the shotgun. Not going to do anything at all. Melees gets the first time to Petushara, but still Space is trying to walk himself away. He's taking a fair bit of damage. Also, FN gets caught at the backlines. He will be the first casualty there from Unique. Gone for 8 seconds. No buyback. The egg there from Slayer does get the pop, but Melee's in deep. So you will just focus back onto the creeps. And now, all of the team fight from Unique has been used. Their hero down. Their melee barracks will fall, and everything from the side of PuckChamp is still here and ready to use. Not even having to use cooldown yet, just the Rolling Thunder and the Snakes. But they should just be able to let them get this set of barracks for free. So what can Unique do? There's no way they can push them off. The shotgun isn't really that effective anymore. Gyro is the only one who's really sitting separate. Jesus Christ, his Space got hit by that swashbuckle. That would have been such a free kill. Crit actually gets super damn low there, but they still couldn't even find the finish. He doesn't even care if he dies. He's still got this axe. He's just not even dying. There you go. His first life will go. But even still, this is probably going to be another full set of barracks gone. Will they decide to go for more? Still another 25 seconds without the puck. It looks like they're thinking about it. But they will just decide to fall back. They don't want to get too greedy and end up throwing everything away. I mean, there's no need to carry on. They've done what they wanted to do. 2 whole sets of barracks gone. Finally, a free kill. And all they lost for that was the Aegis, sorry. Just look at this man's on 4,000 HP. Just what can you do? I mean, it took all of their poking and prodding on him to just get the first kill. But it didn't matter. They'd already sustained huge losses due to that. But actually, the rest of the squad, they actually ended up calling. Actually, the Hex getting the initiation onto FN as well as the follow-up Hex from Astral into the Sunstrike, into the Snakes. This is going to be a dead puck yet again. He will end up dying. Meanwhile, Miles has jumped around the backlines, holding them all back. Crit, finish off Bigham as well. Space, he does get the dive away, but the Tornado actually chases him down. There's still another follow-up there from PuckChamp. Even forcing the buyback on the Rubik. And still no buyback for the puck. Gone for another 70. And they're drawing out the bot wave. Can they actually get the creep wave to the tower fast enough to try and take out this last set of barracks and secure the megas? Probably not. But Crit's definitely going to try. But actually, there's still creeps sat at the top. So the backdoor protection isn't going to be online anytime soon. Even the Alacrity to speed this up. Jesus, got the shotgun damage. Crit gets super low, just barely able to survive with the Satan. He turns around. He finishes off space. Petishara also dies. There's no buyback. And GG just gets immediately called from Unique. He was so close to dying. He survived for a sliver. Gets the BKB off. And that is a stick. Unique doesn't immediately tap out. There's nothing they could do in that situation. It's an overwhelming amount of damage. If the puck was still alive, they probably could have got that kill and maybe started the turnaround of this game. But unfortunately for them, this just was not the case. They still had the hemorrhage in that one. So GG to Puck Champ coming out on top of that game.